pagdating dito sa impeachment hearings dyan po sa House of Representatives, ang basic na question ng ilan dito, marami, hanggang kailan ba makakaiwas yung Vice President dito sa pagsagot doon sa mga seryosong akusasyon laban sa kanya? Especially in light of the latest petition before the Supreme Court seeking a TRO or TRO dito po sa impeachment hearings. Makakausap po natin ngayong gabi si Attorney Jess Falsis. Magandang gabi and thank you for joining us again dito sa Facts First, Attorney.
Good evening, Sir Christian. Good evening sa lahat ng mga nakikinig.
Seriously, hanggang kailan ba niya maiiwasan yung pagsagot dyan? No? Kasi ito, seriously, no? Last year, kinwestiyon na yung due process. Wala raw. Hindi na rin na-examine yung mga ebidensya, nasilip kung sino yung mga witnesses, diniretso sa Senado. Ngayon, nadidinig nating naratibo sa kanila. Kung talagang malakas yung reklamo nyo, isampat nyo na sa yan? Sa Senado. Ang problema, nandun nga yung patakaran, yung impeachment rules sa House Committee on Justice. At sa latest ruling ng Supreme Court, sinasabi ron, ito, nakalatag, ito yung susundin nyo. So the point is, how long if you're Sara Duterte, can you really afford to avoid answering all these serious allegations?
Well, obviously, they use double speak. Double speak is when you say one thing but you actually mean another. So sasabihin nila, they want it in a proper venue, ready sila sumagot, and they're not afraid to confront the evidence. They actually want to cross-examine the witnesses. But the truth is, they never really intend. And when I say they, the lawyers, they're just following kasi syempre the principal. If the principal, VP Sara, doesn't want really to have an impeachment na for an opportunity for the evidence to come out and for her to contradict it, because sabi naman nila, they can contradict it and contravene the evidence, I don't think it's really the intention of the principal, si Sara, to have any form of impeachment or avenue for the evidence to come out. So this is the first try sa lower house. So we can expect, if the Supreme Court doesn't issue a TRO and doesn't decide adversely against the House, they will still try. Kapag transmit ng articles of impeachment to the Senate and before the trial in the Senate starts, doon na magpa-file si VP Sara. Because let's note, si Torion tsaka si Bondoc, they're not really the lawyers of VP Sara. And sa atin, ang magandang, for me, yung magandang development for me, for a person like me who wants Sara to be impeached, hindi nag-issue ng TRO ang Supreme Court nung Monday, kahapon, at ngayon, before mag-Holy Week. Because, the Supreme Court can act quickly naman eh. And if they thought that there was a basis to issue a TRO, I think they would already have. So ako personally, I find it unlikely na mag-i-issue sila ng TRO next week or in the weeks to come, especially when hilaw pa talaga yung petition. Wala pang makikita ang grave abuse kasi ang pinaka-basis ng Torion petition, tatlo. One is yung double standards in handling the BBM impeachment versus Sara, allegedly. Second is yung issuances of subpoenas is outside of the power daw of the committee. And then third, ito nga parang mini trial, it's a power by the Senate, not a power by the House. Yung sa double standards kasi ano yan eh, that's a political question. Can the justices really say there were double standards? Ano na yan? That goes into the heart or to the merits of impeachment. If congressmen did not believe there was sufficiency in form or substance of the BBM complaint, there is no way to penetrate or to pierce that discretion. Ano yun eh? Power talaga ng House yan to decide to vote whether or not lulusot yung impeachment or not. Politically, I can agree na baka may sense yung argument na double standard. But that's in the political realm, pang-election yan. Yung sa second, issuances of subpoena, if you notice, and I think everybody notice it naman hindi nagsubpoena ng bank accounts. Kasi ako initially, yun din ang isa sa mga
Hindi pa. Kasi hindi pa yun ang pinag-uusapan eh.
Correct. No, pero nagkaroon ng movement or shift si Terry Ridon and a few other congressmen, if I'm correct, parang ang naririnig ko sa kanila way before, is they were willing to subpoena bank records. Yun ang dating sa akin before that day.
May sagot dyan. Nung nakausap ko si Congresswoman Luistro,
ang sabi?
Medyo na-surprise nga rin siya na hindi pa pinasubpoena yung bank records na pwede na yata at that stage, no? Kasi kung pag-uusapan naman dyan yung mga hindi dineclare sa salin, etc. Pero I think mangyayari.
So bakit daw hindi?
Yun ang pinagtataka nga niya. From her end.
So ako, ito yung sagot ko. In relation with yung sa Torion petition nga, di ba? I think the Supreme Court will not see any invalidity sa mga issuances ng subpoena because they're very all common or normal. Ang questionable, if ever, na madadama yung House talaga sa constitutionality, kasi magkakadebate yan is sa bank secrecy law, ang sinabing exception doon is parang impeachment cases or impeachment trial. So some contend that the exception only applies to the Senate.
Hindi ba? Sorry. Hindi ba term impeachment proceedings? Not necessarily trial.
Hindi either impeachment case or impeachment proceedings. So either way, I think there was space for the Duterte camp to argue na wala siya
Yeah.
sa scope of power ng House.
Oo.
Ano ko lang to ha, this is just my sense na kasi nga, di ba sabi ni Kong Jervil, they really wanted to play it safe. They really wanted to follow the letter of the law, play it by the book. So yung mga mas questionable aspects, parang hindi nila ginagawa. Yun ang dating sa akin. Kaya hindi nasama.
So far. Kasi April
ang
14 pa lang
back
may susunod eh. Meron pa mga susunod na hearings eh. I think may magmo-move dyan to subpoena the bank records. Kasi argument
Sana.
nila dyan, oo.
Kasi
di
di ba,
proceedings din yung ginagawa sa House eh.
we heard si Senator Trillanes allegedly testify daw kagad as a witness, 'di ba? Kung wala namang bank records na saan papasok yung testimony ni Sentry. Pero again, this is just my educated guess. Bakit hindi pa sasabina ng bank records? Because I think it's more debatable. Again, it will give I'm not saying mali. I'm just saying it will give the Duterte camp more ammunition to question the proceedings. So, ano ba yan? Yung second, yung subpoena. Ang third basis nga is yung sa mini trial. Etong mini trial, I'm sure kaya the Supreme Court is not moving because I'm sure they find it senseless too. Una, mga pundits like Secretary Ronald Llamas, tsaka yung mga pipitsuging abogado tulad ko, ang una namang nagsabi niyang mini trial na yan, hindi naman si Kong Jervil. It's just a description. It's just a label to explain to the public. Kung na-pick up yan ni Kong Jervil or sarili niyang naisip yan, when we followed the impeachment proceedings naman, she never, in my recollection, she never used it in the actual hearing sa loob ng Congress. She only uses it sa interview.
Ito pa yung problema. Wala naman yun doon sa rules mismo ng House of Representatives eh. House Justice Committee. Diba? Andun ba yung mini trial?
Wala. Tsaka hindi nga ginamit ni Kong Jervil. She always says, clarificatory hearing. She always says, hearing proper, or now we are at the hearing stage. So, mahirap i-question ni Torion at Bondok. Maliban sa, idagdag ko na din, hindi siya si VP Sara. Torion and Bondok do not represent VP Sara. So, bakit naman gagalaw si Supreme Court? Akala siguro, ni na Attorney Torion, Attorney Bondok last year, nag-file din sila. Kasi last year may 2 or 3 petitions eh. And nag-file naman si na Attorney Torion at Bondok. No? Baka inisip nila, successful sila. Pero, kasama nila nag-file last year, before or after them, was VP Sara. That's why the Supreme Court probably entertained the petition. Ngayon, what's the urgency? Hindi naman nagreklamo yung respondent.
So anong educated guess mo? Bakit sila umiksena rito kung wala naman silang standing to file that petition?
Ang educated guess ko dyan is, again, ang play nila dyan, 1-2 punch. VP Sara will only come into play kapag napunta na sa Senate because she still wants to stop it. Pero itong sa House, gusto na nila mag-probe. Gusto na nila i-sense or i-push ng onte, meron ba or pwede ba magka-movement sa Supreme Court na matiyaro natin? Why not? O try natin. Kuha tayo ng surrogate, kuha tayo ng mga proxies, i-claim natin independent sila, i-claim natin hindi mo alam, wala akong kinalaman na nag-file sila, hindi ko alam. Pero baka mag-success. O edi wala na.
Baka sakaling umubra. Baka patulan ng Supreme Court.
'Di ba? Oo.
Pero hindi ba sila pro Duterte?
Duterte, si Jimmy Bondok tumakbo last year as a senatorial candidate. Torion is a Tiboloy lawyer.
Ganun ba? Kasi parang tayo naglolokohan pag sinabi mong independent sila, di ba? Pro Duterte
in fairness,
yan.
Siyempre, co-host ko si Attorney Jimmy. Si Attorney Jimmy naman, he never denies na Duterte siya. Ang nagsabi kasi si Sara na hindi daw niya alam at independent daw tong mga lawyers na to.
Okay. Sobrang convinced ako dun. Okay. Ayan. Nasaan na ba ako? So,
pero kung ang tanong mo how long can Sara get away with it? I don't think she can get away with it even if mag-Supreme Court siya, no? Ako, actually, medyo prepared ako sa worst case. Let's say, the Supreme Court intervenes again. The Supreme Court intervenes again, strikes down the impeachment this year, 1-year ban hanggang next year. Next year, impeachment fatigue. Hindi na yan pwede most likely 1 year before elections. Yes. Pero, it doesn't mean she can get away with it because ang alam ko, may parallel effort ang civil society groups, ang mga NGOs and academics and lawyers na mag-hold ng People's Court. Even so, matuloy yung impeachment, good. Hindi matuloy yung impeachment, bad. Pero may parallel impeachment, may parallel People's Court to still try and hear the evidence. So, I don't think she can get away with it.
Tsaka medyo matagal na rin binabalak yung People's Court, no, para ilabas yung mga ebidensya na at least on time na yon na pwedeng masuppress. Kasi nga, na-Jesus Cordero yung impeachment, articles of impeachment last year. Pero dito kasi, I think it's fair enough to say na nandun yung numero. May impeach yung Vice President dito kung hindi manghihimasok yung Korte Suprema. I think, alam naman natin yun no? Yung numero in favor of impeaching her. The only problem is, magkakaroon ba ng trial? At by the time na matransmit yung articles of impeachment, hindi pa ba nagpapalit ng leadership dyan sa Senado? Kasi isa yun sa mga pinakamabigat na determinants kung magkakaroon dyan ng trial, hindi ba?
Well, may mga namimit naman tayong mga senador and mukhang wala nang movement doon sa lalo na doon sa mga pwedeng lumipat from the majority. Parang settled naman ngayon muna na and in the short term na walang Senate coup. Yung sa numbers, you're correct. I think they have the numbers to impeach. Pero parang bibilisan na. Ang sabi ni Vice Chair Keith Flores, they're looking at impeaching or sending the articles of impeachment around April 29. So medyo mas mabilis yun than the initial timeline na narinig ko na baka meron pang House hearings.